My teas are done. My dreams were very interesting, yes. Some very, what I would consider toxic uh, past places and people that I've seen in it, yeah. Must be part of the healing work I need to do, yes. Right. It's weird how we look at illness, yes. We look at it as like this foreign thing. Could very well be an internal thing, yes. With external factors, yes. Like frequency, like what you listen to, what you eat, um, what you engage in, who you're around, what you're around, etc. There's a lot of things, right? Than just this simple little name that they'll give it, right? A bug, or this, or that. Yeah. This world's not very holistic, holistic, right? Which meaning you consider the whole when treating, right? You consider the whole of the self when deciding what medicine, right? That's usually found in cultures with your medicine man and your shaman and your this and that, yes. Ancient stuff, right? I guess I'll go over a few things I had on my work jacket, and I prefer not to, you know, for reasons. So, um, I guess Moses the magician doesn't sound quite as good as what they've, uh, as the image they have given him for everyone. Yes. Right. The first parts of that is the public didn't like, right? You can not like something all day long, right? That does not change the facts behind it, right? That does not change the truth behind it, right? Period. Why? Why would you do that? Why do people insist on doing that, right? Well, because one way is very profitable and it gives people uh, a place of importance, right? Of self importance to put themselves in front of other people and teach them. Yes. Their interpretation. Yeah. But the other, that requires something entirely different. Yeah. That requires the self, right? Searching for these things like in meditation through comparing your current at any moment environment with perhaps maybe some past things, right? Seeing how it's presenting itself again, seeing how you can correct or should you need to correct, offering you a different perspective of a situation, etc. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, right? The world is too busy for that, right? But how do you think all those guys did those things that they did that are talked about, right? And did you know that there were books that were kept out because it spoke of magic and dark magic and this and that, and you'll hear everyone complaining. There's Satanist rituals on TV and blah, 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 blah. Right. It's just a case of those with the correct or full knowledge using that knowledge in a selfish and self beneficial and wrong way, right? And then those without the knowledge having no proper armor or tools, right? Or proper knowledge, yeah. Those that are operating quite differently than, right? It never occurs to them that just as there are nefarious uses, right? There are correct and what you would consider godly uses, yes, for these things. But you would not show up to a spiritual, like, or without the proper tools, would you? Well, you people think you can, right? Like, it does not make sense to me, right? You do you. I am going to do what I do, right? Because I didn't find it any book. I usually find the books after I do the work, right? It's just something that I come across or something that pops into my mind, right? And it's like, look this up. And so I look that up and then I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and then I'm like reading it, right? And it makes sense for whatever I'm like working on or with at the time, yeah? Right? That's how it should work. It's natural learning, right? When it is time for you, it is a process. And there will be plenty of nasties in the ether to try to deter you, right? They do it to me all the time. I just look at them for like the noisy distraction that they are and keep moving along. I just look at them like the test that they are, right? As far as natural medicine goes, right? You are made up of the exact same elements that the natural world is made up of. Yes, you are. What this world practices is bad alchemy, is bad medicine. It is a parallel, synthetic poison, right? And even so, when the intent is self gain, profit, as you would call it, this and that, you can see what happens, yes? Well, we can just dump chemicals everywhere and there's no repercussions, right? Not for you, not for the whole. Make it make sense, right? So, with this little illness that I've had, yes, I've been in my lemon pajamas shamelessly for my 2 days off because I'm sweating out a fever, right? This is the warmest thing that I have. It is the most comforting thing for me right now, right? It's been hard to just do my basic daily task without mint alternative crappy medication, yes, because that just masks the issue. It does not fix the issue. The issue is there is a weakness in my immunity, right? And my immunity needs to learn how to fight this naturally, right? Which means I need to be able to listen to my body as it is, how it feels, no matter how shitty it feels, right? So that I can give it what it needs or what it's telling me that I need, right? If I need to be in bed for 2 days, that's what I need to do. If I don't need to eat, I don't need to eat, right? If I just want water, then I need to just drink water, right? The world is used to masking, listening to what it needs, right? And the same thing goes for dealing with, you know, uh, traumas or processing like difficult things, right? The same is true for that, right? They want you to mask it. They don't want you to face it, deal with it, feel it, right? They don't want you to learn how to like manage, navigate it, heal it, right? That's not the goal. No, that does not make them money. Same thing with the physical. It's bad alchemy. It is definitely not beneficial to you. Like the real stuff takes a lot of work, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of work that by the time you are done with it, there's a lot less external focus. Yeah. But the whole world runs on external focus, doesn't it? It does. So then what would that mean for the way the world operates, right? Nothing makes sense. Why does it not make sense? Why does it not make sense, right? Things that make sense are generally truth, right? Because it's cohesive, it's aligned, it's fluent. It's like a flowing river, going with the river, yes, instead of against it, right? And the voices of the ether will say what they say, yes, they will. Just as those who dare not have their identity disturbed by reality, right? Because then what, right? That's the real question. Then what? You would have to humble yourself, swallow that pride and that ego, and realize that you're wrong. It's precisely what it is, right? These are not traits that we need, right? They're not traits that produce anything good. If people saw things for the way that they are, no one would have the jobs that they think they do, right? Like your weathermen, your anchors on TV, your scientist, your this and that. None of that. None of it. This world has worked so hard to remove people from their spiritual self and their spiritual power, right? And their highest consciousness, right? In favor for what? Slavery. It's precisely what it is. And like I said, like giving, people aren't used to like giving to themselves, right? Like if I'm sick, instead of masking it, right? Like I have to listen to what I need, right? What my body needs. and I have to accommodate it, right? But everyone's so used to like ignoring that because that's the way the world teaches you to do, right? You spend your every waking moment accommodating others. You accommodate your bosses, you accommodate your children, your spouses, everyone but you. So when you're the one in need, you expect those people that you accommodate to recognize that need within you and to help you meet those needs. And when they don't, right? And I also believe that this is why we feel so entitled to external judgment of others, is because we spend so much time giving outwardly to others that we feel entitled to judge them, right? We're not giving to ourselves, so we're not judging ourselves. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah. When people are presented with information and there are things omitted, right? You don't get the full information, right? Then you don't get the full scope of anything. You are not going to draw a proper conclusion. You are not going to create a proper argument for a case. You are not going to get anywhere with it, right? And what they have done is removed everything that would give you your power to fight against things in a proper way that would create the proper change needed. Now, that very much does sound like the way this world operates. It does, right? So, when one does work on the proper information, oh, there's going to be pushback, yeah. But those in the know, right? So I can get on here and I will say exactly what it is, what I think, and continue being 100% authentic. Like I said, I am not trying to sell you anything, I am trying to show you something, right? I have nothing to gain from that. Nothing. Because I'm going to do what I do irregardless. Yeah. Or I guess I do have something to gain, right? People get the proper knowledge. Everyone can work from a proper place and understand what is happening. It's for the betterment, yeah? Like, I didn't do all the work for no reason, right? I certainly didn't get this knowledge for no reason. Certainly didn't seek it for no reason. That's the truth. I'm not going to argue with anyone about it. No, I'm going to do what I do, right? They can do what they do. I'm not into controlling others. That's not my job. Or their perceptions or whatever. I can simply give you my perspective, show you what I work on through my eyes, right? Like, and that's that. It is a lot healthier than 99.9% of the shit that is being shoved in your faces and senses every day. I promise you that, though. There is a place that you get when you understand that this little system that they run on, this their reward or whatnot, is not reward, right? Like, they are giving you things of the earth, right? Everything made is from this earth. Yeah, including you. And that in itself is very powerful, yes? Which would mean what? You are not just helpless people. You just don't have the right information and knowledge. You've been told to fear, right? Yes, this is very much a fear trap world. They'll do their best, right? And I think I heard somebody who made a video that was like, man, once you start talking about the Matrix, like it's like the Matrix comes after you. Yes. 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 It is quite like the movie The Matrix, yes. Because everything is not human. Yeah. There's a lot more spiritual and supernatural to this world than people want to acknowledge, and that is not good for them. Ignorance is good for no one. And expecting someone else to just come in and save you and do the work for you is absurd. You have to do some of the work in the right way. And that's not up for me to decide. That's not up for anyone else to decide, right? Proper things will decide. And the proof will be in the pudding.